All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the final part of the show, going to talk about college football for a little bit, and then also we're going to take a look at my NFC North predictions. So a double segment here. But do have it's not really breaking news, but I just kind of want to use the feature, anyways. Yeah, so I was gonna bring this up a little bit before, but Mike McDaniel of the Miami Dolphins, he signed an extension, so I wanted to bring that up, um, but also mainly because I wanted to use the breaking news feature that we got. So um, so there were some games last night. Well, there was a lot of games last night in college football. Well, first I want to bring up some of the scores. So again, didn't watch these games, but Arkansas beat um uh Arkansas Pine Bluff 70 to nothing. 70 to nothing. And then SF Austin won their game 77 to nothing. That just goes to show you like just how crazy college football can be with these scores. How different it is from the NFL because we saw 70 points. Well, talking about Mike McDaniel, the Dolphins scored 70 points on the Broncos last year, but it's crazy how some of these college football scores can be, how out there they can be. But I wanted to get into talking about Colorado and North Dakota State. So I did watch that game. I did watch pretty much the whole game. Shador Sanders played really well. He's going to be one of the top quarterbacks, that gets taken in next year's draft if he does declare for the NFL draft. He is. But he's going to be one of the top QBs. He went 26 of 34 for 445 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. Big games from both receivers. Jimmy Horn Jr., 7 receptions, 198 yards, and a touchdown. Travis Hunter, 7 receptions for 132 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now, last year, he had 5 touchdowns in total, I believe, and he had 3 in the opener. So, he is going to get well over 5 touchdowns this year. He should. But yeah, Colorado's offense was solid, but the problem is their defense. Cam Miller, the quarterback for North Dakota State, he went 18 to 22 for 277 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. They ran the ball for 157 yards in total, North Dakota State. 2 rushing touchdowns by Cam Miller. He was their leading rusher, actually. He had 81 yards rushing. But yeah, it did get a little dicey at the end. The game got off to a fast start because North Dakota State, they, scored a field goal on their first drive. Colorado scored a touchdown on their first drive. Shador Sanders connected with Travis Hunter for a 41-yard touchdown. The game did go back and forth. North Dakota State was up 20 to 14, and then it was 20 to 17 at the half. Colorado came out and scored a touchdown. Travis Hunter scored a second touchdown to make it 24 to 20. Then it was 31-20. Travis Hunter's third touchdown got scored in the fourth quarter. Then it was 31 to 26. Cam Miller had a 20-yard touchdown run, and then they didn't get the 2-point conversion. But what was interesting was on the final drive of the game, North Dakota State had 1 timeout. And I forget how many seconds was. I mean, there wasn't that much time left. But Colorado threw the ball on first down. And even I was like, why are they doing that? And that, it didn't cost them. They won the game, but, that was, they were trying to go for the kill shot. But in that spot, they shouldn't have done that. Because, with the new rule now, the clock stops on every first down. So, North Dakota State is driving. They're converting first downs, the clock's stopping. There were some complaints about the officiating, which, when the NFL starts, there's going to be even more of that. But Cam Miller threw a pass. It didn't make it to the end zone, but, they ended up making the catch. And they were down, inside the 10-yard line. And that's how the game ended, on a Hail Mary. But, again, they weren't in the end zone. And it was funny because Dion, at the end of the game, they were interviewing him, and he said, I'm not going to use profanity, but I thought it, or something along the lines of that. So, because he was probably like, what are we doing, guys? But yeah, Colorado's offense is good. It's just, it really seems like the defense is still a problem. I know from looking on social media, people are saying, the front seven looks good. It's just the back end. It's a problem. But, yeah, it's just, that's really the thing. They're going to be a good offensive team. But what's going to hold them back this year is probably their defense. So, and I know they played against North Dakota State, and, North Dakota State is, and that's the school Trey Lance went to. North Dakota State is not looked at as a, superior opponent, but, it's fun to watch that team, I got to say. So, and obviously being a Giant fan, you want to see the Giants maybe get or Shedeur Sanders if, the Giants are in position to do that. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the game. Let me know what you guys think, though. That was an exciting game to watch. Missouri was all over Murray State. They won 51-0. UNC and Minnesota, that was a close game because they were losing that game, but they came back and won. They kicked a go-ahead field goal. They won 19-7. Rutgers, they won their game big. What they win by? They won 44-7 over Howard. NC State won 38-21. But yeah, I'm not going to go through every single game. But yeah, so those were some of the games from yesterday. Now, for tomorrow, there's big games tonight, too. You got Oklahoma and Temple, TCU and Stanford, FAU and Michigan State. But tomorrow, you got the really big games. You got Clemson and Georgia, Penn State and West Virginia. I'm just, just to name a few. Florida and Miami. I just want let's see who else. I was trying to find some of the other Michigan and Fresno State. But yeah, that's just, I don't want to go through every single matchup, but yeah, that's just some of the matchups for tomorrow. Ohio State against Akron. Ohio State's a 48.5-point favorite. That's the other thing too. The spreads in college football are they're crazy. And then on Sunday, the big game, before the NFL, you got USC and LSU. That's a standalone game on 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC. So that's what's on tap for the weekend. Some good games there. Going to try to focus on Georgia and Clemson, hopefully. And definitely USC, LSU. So, with the last couple minutes here, let's now go through. Let me know what you guys think, though. What's an exciting matchup? What are you most excited for the weekend with college football? So I did want to get into quickly the NFC North and how I have the standings. So this is what I got. I got the Vikings at 6-11, finishing in last place. The Bears at 9-8, Packers 11-6, and then the Lions at 12-5. I think the Bears, I've said it all along, I think they're going to be a team that gets off to a slow start, and then they're going to finish strong, kind of like last year. And I think they might just miss out on the playoffs. Because when I was going through like who I have making the playoffs, like I have the Packers and the Lions both making the playoffs. But then I have the Cowboys, and I also have the Rams making the playoffs too. So that's going to leave the Bears as the odd team out. So they're just going to miss out. I'm still going to give the Lions the respect that they deserve. I think they're going to finish with at least a top 2 seed. Like I had the Eagles at 12-5 as well. So, there's going to have to be a tiebreaker that, separates the two. And I still look at the 49ers as the best team in the NFC. But yeah, I'm going to give the Lions the respect that they deserve. Still put them ahead of the Packers at 12-5. The Packers, I think, are going to be really good this year. Jordan Love, another year under his belt. Josh Jacobs now in the fold. I'm hoping for a big year out of him, especially because getting him in fantasy. So I got them finishing in second. Bears in third, like I said. Vikings, I'm going to give them around 6 wins. I like the Vikings team a lot, but the problem is the quarterback position. Like, Sam Darnold, I think will win some games for you, but I feel like we might see more than just Sam Darnold this year at quarterback for the Vikings. And they're just in a weird spot because, again, they got a good roster. It's just the quarterback position is not great. So that's why I got them finishing in last. So, but let me know what you guys think, though, about the NFC North. How do you see it playing out? And, that is pretty much it for the show for today. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, bear with me as I still try to get over what I got going on here. Still dealing with some congestion, but I'm hoping by when we meet again on Monday that we're all good. Believe it or not, I actually feel like I'm getting better. I know I sound like I may sound at certain points during the show. I sound like, well, like someone put it, that I sound like I'm gonna cry, like the other day. But I'm getting there. So hopefully by Monday we're good to go. But yeah, just continue to bear with me. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Chillmatic, I appreciate the comments in the chat. Make sure to check out all the other shows as well. And so that is all the time that we have for today. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back again on Monday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And until then, I'm Kenneth Grunfelder signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the games. And I'll talk to you guys on Monday. Take care.